Welcome to Mentoring Writers Resource Box, the podcast for writers wanting to learn all they can about the world of writing. I am author and mentor Anne Brady, and I will be sharing a variety of informational resources to help you with your writing journey. Welcome to today's podcast. One of the most enjoyable ways of practicing your writing is to enter competitions. These usually involve writing short stories and occasionally poetry. But if you're writing a short story, it's like going on an adventure. The clues you follow will lead us readers on a journey which will often leave us surprised at the end of the process. Sometimes your inspiration as a writer comes from an incident, perhaps through the senses, such as smell or taste. More often, your ideas will spring from what is happening around you, or what's going on in the world in general. The process will be different each and every time. In one story, you could decide to follow the character, their narrative, while in another you might choose mood, perhaps focusing more on the sense of a place or some inner thought. Whichever you choose, what is important is that you keep reading other short stories and, wherever possible, engage as much as you can with other writers. Join discussion groups, as discussing the process actually helps keep your thoughts flowing. Others' points of view will also show you an appreciation of a well-told story. So today, I'm going to offer you some useful tips to consider when you first start to write. We use these tips in one of our Mentoring Writers workshops. One thing you must remember, though, is to enjoy the process. If you stop enjoying the writing process, perhaps due to you trying to follow too many ways of doing things, then you must step away from it. Go do something else. As you do, another door will open, and suddenly you will find your story. Don't get bogged down by the definition of what a short story is. If you have an idea, then try writing it down just as it comes into your mind. See where it takes you. Likewise, if you don't have an idea, try a free writing exercise and see where that leads you. Other ways to gain ideas is to listen to the radio, follow the news, read the gossip magazines at the hairdressers, eavesdrop in on conversations at the bus stop. Don't forget, you're a writer, so you are allowed to do that. Inspiration can come from simple, everyday actions or from the world around you. Remember, though, try to keep yourself open to all ideas. Now, it is said that every person has at least one good book in them. And it's true, even you. So, why not try to write an autobiographical story? Write yours, even an abbreviated one. And after you've done it, rewrite it from another character's perspective, or from the point of view of, say, the bicycle you tried to ride as a child. Chop, change, add, subtract. By doing this, it stops being autobiographical and becomes fictional, mysterious, sci-fi, murderous. The list of genres goes on. Experiment with form and structure. All stories tend to have a start, a middle, and an end. Though this is not always necessarily true. If you have the confidence or just want to play about with your writing, then do so. After all, you don't need structure at the very beginning of your writing journey. For now, you are experimenting with the idea of being a writer. Starting to write a story from the beginning can sometimes be very daunting, especially when you sit staring at a blank page or screen. So, change the order of things. Try starting at the end or the climax and then work your way back to the beginning. Start in the middle and pad the story out. And remember, a short story is not a novel and should not be compared to one. Don't allow your mind to build blocks against writing. It's a living, breathing thing in its own right. Enjoy writing it. And importantly, learn. Learn from the best. Read books by successful authors. But don't forget to read new and emerging authors. Read online journals and even anthologies. There is something to learn from everyone. Support writing journals by reading them and even sending a submission to them. And if by any chance you have chosen a person to base your protagonist on, and they are willing, then meet up with them and have a serious chat. Discuss various subjects, anything from politics to sharing recipes. Find things out about them, such as who their favourite teacher was, or who they shared their first kiss with. It may not appear in the story, but such small details will help you flesh out a well-rounded and believable character. Plus, it's great to play make-believe as a grown-up. Use your senses. We mean it. One of the best things you can do as a writer is to take the reader to a place or a moment and then leave them dangling there. If your character is in the kitchen baking, then go bake a cake yourself. Immerse yourself in the process, the smells, the touch, the taste. Plus, you get to eat the cake afterwards. If your character has just killed somebody, no, maybe don't do that. But you could read about it, I'm sure. There are lots of ways you can take what you experience and transfer it into your writing. And once you have written your story, when it comes down to the rewrites and the edits, that is when you put your critical hat on and hone what you have written before submitting it. One of the biggest fears writers have is criticism. Accept it. Welcome it with open arms. It isn't meant to harm, but to help and to teach you. Accept constructive suggestions and advice. Try joining a writers' group. You might be surprised how it can help you. The Twitter writing community is very supportive. Just don't spend all your time on it. You do need to write too. Look at taking some writing workshops. There are plenty of experienced people out there, including mentoring writers, who can offer you help and advice on the best way to go. And finally, above all else, just enjoy your writing. Remember, never feel let down over those rejection letters. Regardless of those, you are writing. The stories are getting out there into the world, which means you are involved in the whole writing process. Oh, and one more thing. Once you've written it, always read it out loud. You will be surprised how much this helps you understand what you have written, and of course, it will help you find any mistakes you've made. If you need help with any aspect of your writing, including mentoring, workshops, marketing, blogs, or social media, etc., then email us at contact@mentoringwriters.co.uk and we will assist you in your writing journey. Come on, get writing some good short stories. This was Anne Brady. Thanks for listening.